Thank you so much for joining me as part of the Warriors at Ease Operation Remote Resilience, and I hope you enjoyed this class. The video will be available for the public shortly at the Warriors of Ease YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to the Warriors at Ease channel so you never miss a class, and please consider visiting the link in the description below to make a donation so you can keep these classes going and keep teachers like me teaching them. So signing off, this is Janel from Operation Remote Resilience in Peace, Health, and Connection. So if you have a block at home, have that handy. If you don't have a block, you can grab a book or something that is about so high, and we'll have that available for posture in a little bit. So we'll begin seated tall at the edge of our seats. Come on forward, plant your feet, let your shoulders drift down, slightly back. Crown of the head is reaching nice and tall. And then maybe just a slight little tuck of the chin today. Feel the back of the cervical spine open. Maybe close the eyes or take a nice soft gaze. Just feel yourself coming into stillness here for a moment. Noticing the breath. Take the mind's eye and take a little scan throughout the body, beginning with the crown of the head. Allow the awareness to wash down the whole front of the body first, maybe starting here with a big inhale. Exhale, allow that awareness to wash down the face, the chest, the shoulders. Feel the weight of the arms, connection of the hands into the knees or the thighs. Feel the weight of the legs here being supported by your seat and the chair and the floor and the earth beneath you. And then as you inhale, allow that scan to go up the back of the body. Maybe feeling some length come into the spine through the crown of the head. Exhale, see if you can just drop in a little deeper here. Let the weight of the body completely be given into the chair, the floor. Feeling grounded here, rooted into the feet. Begin to inhale deeply into the lower lobes once more. Feel the belly expand, stretch into the ribs, sipping air all the way up into the collarbones. Exhale, nice and long, draw the belly into the spine, get all the stale air out. Just take a few rounds of this breath, nice and easy, deep inhales. Nice, long, complete exhales. And as we sit in stillness here, start to figure out which parts of the body might start to need a little more attention today. Maybe even acknowledging those spaces that might feel extra good for you today too. Notice how the mind is here today. Are the thoughts racing, or are they starting to settle? Or maybe you're already in a nice, peaceful state of mind. Just acknowledging what's here today. It's all okay. Take a few more deep breaths in and out. Feeling perhaps that space where your body ends and the rest of the world begins. Just finding the edges of you here. Feeling the space that you are taking up today here. Coming into that present moment, right here on our chair, taking each breath one at a time. Noticing those little pauses in between the top and the bottom of each breath. Take one more deep breath in. A nice long exhale. And if the eyes are closed, go ahead and flutter them open. And then we're going to begin today just working into the neck and some cat-cows. So go ahead and inhale, shoulders drop, spine is tall. As you exhale, turn your gaze towards your right. So just feel into the left neck here for a moment. You don't have to turn very far, just find that first space of resistance and stay there and breathe. So think about inhaling, lengthening even a little more. On the exhale, keep that length and see if you can drop the shoulders down a little bit more and maybe a little further behind you. Just incremental little space, and then once we do that, we might be able to take that chin, just glide it a little bit more towards the right shoulder. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Big inhale in. Exhale, slowly unwind the neck to center. Good. Take 1 big inhale here, tall spine. Exhale, take that to the left. Just noticing what you encounter on the right side of the neck as you turn the head towards the left. Might not go as far, you might come deeper, it doesn't matter. Just stay and breathe where you find that first space of resistance. And then once we're here, think about inhaling, getting incrementally taller. On the exhale, keep the tallness and allow the shoulders to drift down the back. Take 3 more deep breaths. A lot of times we don't even notice how bad our seated postures are until we are forced to come into a proper posture. So take 1 more inhale. Exhale, bring that chin back to center. Most of the time when we're sitting, we just naturally kind of round forward with the shoulders and the chest. So we're up here, finding that length in the spine, space in the cervical spine, shoulders down and back. So just imprint this into your head for a moment and see if you can find this as many times during the day when you're seated. Even at a stop sign in your car, you can just lean forward and find this one. And it will definitely help improve your posture over time. Keeps that breathing nice and deep too. So from here, a couple cat-cows. Go ahead and grab onto your knees. Inhale, lift the sternum up. Draw the shoulders down and back. Feel the opening through the front of the spine. And then as you exhale, round. Bring the chin towards the sternum. Hold onto the knees and round out that back. Pull the belly button in. Take a few here with your breath. Inhale, roll all the way to the top of the posture, finding that opening through the front of the spine, and then exhale, round all the way to the back. Let the head and chin drop. And you can make these movements as big or as small as you need to. So if the spine isn't feeling this today, you can stay just with these little tiny movements, opening and flexing and extending through the front and the back. Take 3 more rounds, whichever version you're taking. We're connecting the breath with the movement. Noticing along the way there might be areas that are particularly a little more tight and sticky. Give yourself permission to linger there, maybe wiggle through. So these don't have to look any particular way. We're just trying to connect with how the spine is feeling today as we roll through each vertebra one at a time. Go ahead and find that last round here. And then inhale back to neutral. Good. We're going to take a nice little forward fold here. So first bring those arms up nice and tall. Find that length. And then as you exhale, start to round through that spine again. Go ahead and place the hands on the lap and just come into a little tiny forward fold. Maybe allow the chin to fall. So it's like that cat-cow, but we're not using the knees as leverage anymore. We're just kind of rounding into the back. Feel the lower back, maybe the shoulders a little looser. Inhale to a half back, press into the knees and straighten it up. And then now keep that length in the back and just lean the heart forward. So now we have a long spine. We're just bending the elbows and folding. So again, you might be way up here if the lower back is not feeling good. Otherwise, you might let the whole belly rest on the thighs, maybe the chest rests on the thighs. And then if you're here and it feels okay, you can go ahead and release. So let the head just dangle. If that feels all right for the neck. If it does not feel good for the neck, you can keep it in line with the spine. If the head is dangling here, you might give a little wiggle, a little roll side to side, whatever feels good. So now we're feeling the weight of the head is decompressing that cervical spine just a little bit. Take 3 more deep breaths. Feel into that lower back. Good, big deep breath in. Nice long exhale. If the hands are down, engage that core, bring the hands to the knees. Come into that nice flat back, pause there, and then start to press into the knees and the feet into the floor as you come up nice and tall. Good. Sit here for 1 moment, just realigning that whole spine. We're going to explore a little twisting here. So we have options. We can keep the legs right as they are, and we can take the forearm and just drape it right across. So the right elbow to the right upper thigh, right hand to the left thigh. And then staying there and start to explore taking the left hand over towards the left wall, maybe start to spiral it. If that feels okay for the spine, an eye gaze can be either following that left hand, you can keep it neutral or down at the floor. And if you're here and you're like, I could use a little more, you can take this right hand and start to either slide it to, this is where the block would come in handy. You can have a block on the floor, or you might not need a block. You can come all the way down. So be where it feels good for you. We're going to take 5 deep breaths here in this twist. So if you come in too deep and it doesn't feel good for the spine or you're really rounding, then come on out. See if you can find that length through the front of the chest as you reach through that left hand. Take 1 more inhale. Good. Exhale, bring that left hand down, and then find that tall spine once again. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. Let the shoulders drop. Find that nice Tadasana pose in the upper body. Let the shoulders drop down. Crown of the head is tall. And then we'll see if we can recreate that on the other side. So take that left arm, just cross it right across the tops of the thighs. And then inhale, explore that right arm lifting. Maybe it lifts halfway. Eye gaze can stay, or it can follow the hand. Or once you come here, you might decide, maybe release that left hand down to the block, getting deeper into that lower right quadrant of the back. Again, you come there, it doesn't feel good, come on out. You just want to be in a place where we can breathe deep. I know it's a little challenging here breathing, but do your best. And we got 1 more inhale. Long exhale, slowly rotate the spine all the way back to center. If you're down, go ahead and press up tall. Find that Tadasana pose once again, shoulders down, slightly back, crown of the head tall. Let that whole spinal column just reset here for a couple breaths. We're going to work into that lower back just a little bit more. So take your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Hands are going to stay here on the knees. Big breath in, and then exhale, right shoulder towards the right knee. Keep the left glute on the chair here. And then lengthen long through center, left shoulder towards the left knee, and all the way up. We're going to take 3 circles this way. See if you can do these really slowly and controlled. Breathing through the whole thing in and out, so we're not holding our breath as we roll through. If you're finding like you're holding your breath or it's gotten really short, make your circles a little smaller. Take your time, finish this last round here to the right. And then we'll all meet tall and center. And then we're going to take that the opposite direction a couple rounds. Tall. Exhale, left shoulder towards left knee. Long through center. Right shoulder towards right knee. And up tall. So closing the eyes, our eyes can be open. Just connect here with all of those muscles between the lower back, left and right side, and the front of the abdominals, as they all have to contract and release in sync. I have a creaky chair. I think I'm a little WD-40 on this one. Take last round here. Take your time. We'll all meet in center. Nice and tall. Good. And then go ahead and bring those feet back together. If you have that block there, you can just put that to the side. I'm going to take a little bit for the hips here with our pigeon. So go ahead and take this right heel on top of that left thigh. If that doesn't work and you have your block, you can always have a block there and get a little opening here for that right hip. If you have this foot all the way up, flex in that right foot so we keep that knee joint safe. And then we might just stay here. Try to find that tall spine, that Tadasana Pose in the upper body. And then you can guide very, very gently. Just guide that knee maybe just incrementally to the floor. You'll find a little more sensation in the hip. And then if you want more here, take a deep breath and exhale, just dip the chest forward a little bit. Keep the shoulders down the back. This is where that breath starts to get short again, so notice that. If it's short, maybe back out and find that deep inhale and exhale, and maybe after a few rounds, then you can maybe move in incrementally deeper. And I like to take just tiny little movements to the right and to the left and just work into that hip socket a little bit. Keep the shoulders loose down the back. Notice if you're tensing in the jaw or the face. Let everything in the upper body be relatively loose. Just working into that right hip here. Take about 3 more deep breaths. Good. One more inhale. Long exhale. And then slowly inhale all the way up nice and tall. Good. Go ahead and take that right leg, take it off, and set it back down. Both feet are rooted into the floor. One breath in. Nice long breath out. Then we're going to try that on the other side. So if you need the block, you can take the block over here and just cross. Get a little opening for that left hip. Otherwise, take that left foot to the top of the thigh. Flexion in the left foot. And that knee, if you're super tight here, your knee might be way up here. It's okay as long as you can stay here and keep flexion in the foot. And eventually, maybe it'll start to open. So there's no right or wrong way here. Feel what it's like in your body. Your body will let you know if it's not good, if it's painful. Back out and take a different option, like with the block. Otherwise, stay here and breathe. And if you are here and you need a little bit more, then we can take that big inhale and lift and lengthen. Keep the length in the spine and just think about leaning the heart forward. Nice flat back. Still have flexion here. Maybe a gentle pressing into that left palm, into the knee. Maybe close the eyes and really feel what's going on here in that left side. Still breathing nice and deep. As we hold these postures for a few breaths, sometimes a little bit of space will begin to open. We can just stay and enjoy that space as it opens, or we can choose to maybe move in just a little bit more. So do whatever's inviting you here for 2 more deep breaths. Nice. On the inhale, slowly come on up if you were leaning forward, and then release that side. Take a nice deep breath in, find that tall spine. Nice long exhale. I'm going to take eagle here. Eagle legs will be just taking the right knee and crossing it over the left. This can be your eagle legs here. If you want a little more with eagle legs, you'll have to come way to the edge of your chair. Maybe you can bind, if you can see, the right toes behind the left calf. So if this is your eagle legs today, stay here. Bring those arms out. Right elbow underneath the left elbow. Once we have that cross, we can either grab opposite shoulders here for really tighten the shoulders. This will feel good. Otherwise, maybe you can cross and get the backs of the hands to touch. Some might be able to get the palms to touch. So whatever variation you have here, we're squeezing everything into the midline, staying tall in the spine, shoulders are down the back. Feel that nice stretch across the top of the shoulders and the whole upper back here as you squeeze tight, squeezing the legs together, and we're breathing. Keep squeezing and breathing for 3 more breaths. Beautiful. One more inhale. On the exhale, release the arms, release the legs. Find that nice tall Tadasana pose here for a moment and feel all that blood rush back into those limbs that we just bound. So these are really good for the lymphatic system. Usually, unless you're doing an inversion, we don't usually get to exchange all these toxins in the lymphatic system fast. So this kind of expedites that process a little bit by squeezing everything together and letting it release. So let's try that on the other side. Go ahead and take that left leg on top of the right. And each side will be different. Maybe on this side we don't do the bind. Maybe we just sit right here. Take those arms out nice and wide. And then take that left elbow underneath the right. Maybe opposite elbows, maybe backs of hands, maybe palms. Good. So wherever you are here, squeeze it like you mean it. Feel the opening that's happening along the back side of the body, the outer hip on the left. If there's anything you're not squeezing, turn that on here for the last 3 breaths. Beautiful, big inhale. Exhale, release those arms, release the legs. Sit nice and tall, Tadasana here. Let that settle in just for 2 deep breaths. Feel all the blood rush back into those opposite areas that we just did. Good, and then we're going to take a little nice twist for the spine. So today we're just going to come sideways in our chair, to the left first. And then we're going to use the back of the chair to get us into our twist. So the knees are facing the left wall, forward with the feet, nice and tall. Bring the hands to the back of the chair. Inhale, lengthen, and then use the leverage of that back of the chair to maybe start to drag the chest towards the back room. So shoulders are going down, crown of the head is tall, feet are planted and rooted, so are the glutes. We're just using the back of the chair to move us in here. So make sure that you're not cranking on that lower back. We're just gently using this as a guide to see where we can hold and breathe. Three more deep breaths on this side. Beautiful, inhale. And then on the exhale, release. Come all the way back through center. Take your time. Find Tadasana Pose just for a moment. Let that side settle. Notice the areas that feel more open in the spine and the areas that not so much, and we'll try to fix that. So when you're ready, go ahead and turn it towards your right, plant into the feet, and then we're going to take the left hand and the right hand to the back of the chair, which is going to start the twist right here. Shoulders drop down, crown of the head is tall, and then you can start to explore this side. Maybe drawing yourself towards the back of the room with the chest and the face. Notice that the shoulders are up here. If that's happening, drop them down. You're feeling this one from the mid-thoracic spine. And we're breathing nice and deep. Beautiful. One more inhale. And on the exhale, release that side. Nice and slow. And then slowly come all the way back through center. Take that Tadasana pose here for a moment. Let that whole spinal column settle. Good. And then we're just going to open up the hip flexors a little bit and use a little bit of slight balance with the chair. So this left leg is going to come all the way towards the left wall. And we're going to step that right leg long behind us. So kind of got to finagle around on the chair until you feel supported here under that left thigh. Left toes are facing forward, that knee is over the left ankle, and we're rooted into that back right foot, and make sure you engage that right quad. And then we're going to turn towards this left wall and inhale those arms up for warrior one. So we have that little twist in the spine. We're really strong and rooted into the legs, drawing that core in nice and tight, shoulders down the back, and we're breathing. And if you're here and this isn't good for the shoulders, you can always bring your hands to the sternum. Really, really strong in the legs here. We're just using the chair to hold us in this space, but we're activating as much as we can in the legs. Take 3 more deep breaths. Big inhale. Now, staying in the legs, we're just going to reach this left arm forward and reach the right arm back. The chest is going to square towards you. So this is warrior two. Shoulders over hips. Think about the arms reaching nice and long. If they're up here again by your shoulders, you can flip the palms, give a little bit of a sway, and then settle them back down. The gaze is over that front middle finger. Just feel yourself being held in this space. Again, if this is too much for the arms, you can always bring hands into heart. Keep really rooting back through that outer edge of the right foot. Take 1 more deep breath. And then as you exhale, go ahead and bring the arms down. Start to kind of wiggle yourself back into center, and then we're going to take that on the other side. So turning the right foot towards the right wall and the right knee, and then take that left leg long behind you, root into the outer edge of that left foot, engage that right quad. And then we're going to turn towards this right wall and lift the arms up for warrior one. Again, you can bring hands to heart. And just kind of, and don't feel like you're stuck in cement here. So if you come in and you're like, something doesn't feel right on a chair, you can kind of wiggle it around. So give yourself permission to do that if you need to. Shoulders down, we're breathing and we're rooted into the feet. You can even activate a little bit here if you want to even press into the feet just a little bit and feel some of the weight come out of that right thigh off of the chair. Even more heat is building. Take 3 more deep breaths. Good, big inhale. Exhale, reach that right arm forward, left arm back. Legs pretty much stay right where they are. The shifting of the chest a little bit towards the left. Gaze over that front middle finger. Shoulders nice and loose. Notice if anything is let go here, if that back leg is just kind of dangling there, really root it. Let's take 1 more breath. Exhale, bring those hands back down. We're going to slide back to center, however you want to get there. Bring those feet in. Find Tadasana. Big breath in. Nice long exhale. Root into those feet. Let the palms rest. Shoulders glide down the back. Crown of the head is tall. So either eyes closed, you can have a soft gaze here. And just feel everything that has been opened, twisted, lengthened, and constricted. Notice all of those sensations going on in the body here. Notice the thoughts that are floating through the mind now. Are you a little bit more in the present moment than where we were when we first came to our practice today? So just take about maybe another 5 nice deep breaths here in this stillness, just noticing if there's a little shift perhaps than when we came to this posture before, about 30 minutes ago. This is where we can really connect with the benefits of our practice. Thank you so much for joining me as part of the Warriors at Ease Operation Remote Resilience. And I hope you enjoyed this class. So this video will be available to the public on the Warriors at Ease YouTube channel shortly. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and you'll never miss a class. And please consider visiting the link in the description below and make a donation to keep these classes free for all. It's viewers like you that make it possible for teachers like me to provide these services. And this is Janel signing off for the Warriors at Ease Remote Resilience and Health, Resilience, and Connection.